Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another week of Kurt and Jen's podcast.
This is crazy. Yes, I'm in Florida again visiting family. So thanks for joining us. This long distance national version. Well, I guess it's always national. It's international if they want it to be, right?
Yeah, anyone can
So
listen to this craziness.
how are things in the PNW while I'm down here in the sweltering heat? It's like 92 degrees. Not
It is
yet. It's going to
it
be.
is
Yeah.
100% not 92 degrees here. It was cloudy. I don't like the clouds, Kurt.
I know you don't. I know you don't. You hate them. It's not your
I
favorite.
I hate them. I do
Uh,
absolutely hate them.
Well, I would say that the clouds are better than, well, I don't know. It's so humid. That's the thing. It's like it's the opposite of the Pacific Northwest. And here, we get out and we enjoy the summer times uh, and we can do things in the winter as well. Down here in the summer, they just stay inside, you know. Although we're
Yeah.
planning to go to there's this new miniature golf course that Tiger Woods designed, and
Oh,
he is we want to go check that out. Why is there no miniature golf in the Seattle area? Very little. Is it not popular or?
miniature golf?
Yeah,
I mean, have you never been to this Snohomish Valley Golf Center?
I have, but I mean, there's very few locations, is what I'm saying. It seems like that was maybe it's passe. I don't know. I'm just that's always something we have fun with, until you get to the hole with the windmill, and I always get my ball denied by the windmill blade. That's no fun. So uh,
Well,
I just wondered. Of course, it's warmer down here and sunnier down here a lot more, so maybe that has something to do with it. But we
yeah,
should have
probably.
more in Seattle, I think.
Well, indoor. Maybe that should be your next job. Maybe you should open one of those.
Opening a nah. Okay.
So you're in Florida visiting family for the week. I am getting ready literally after the podcast to head out on a road trip to Idaho to for the first time go to Silverwood theme park and the water park with
You've never
Macy,
been
just
there
kind of
before?
her summer trip. I've never been. Have you?
No, but you've been everywhere before.
I have not. No, I have not. There are many, many places I have not been, and I'm super excited to go to this. So we have no idea where we're staying. We're going to go in the motorhome. So we might be
Okay.
spending the night in a Walmart parking lot. Who knows?
All right. Well, it's an adventure, isn't it always?
Yeah. So
I
what have you done this weekend? Well, I guess you traveled really and got there,
Yeah, I
what,
just we
yesterday,
just
last night?
got
What?
in last night, so not much yet, but we did have, my sister Terry and her husband Mike, two of my favorite people in the world, and it's nice. Yeah, we all have, and this is family, obviously, but we all have friends and family you haven't talked to in a little bit, and I mean, it's just like no time has passed when you get
Yeah.
together, and we laughed so much. It was really, laughter is good for the soul, and just sharing old stories, and there might have been a couple of drinks involved, so it was a
Mhm.
very good night.
It makes
Very
laughter come
it's
easier if
good.
you
I
have
think
a
it's
few
good for your
drinks.
soul,
Yeah.
to have those times. So, and hopefully you'll get that at Silverwood. Are you going to go on all the coasters?
Of course I am. That's why I'm
Yeah.
going. I can't
I
wait to
knew
go on
the
the
answer to
big
that question.
coasters. Yeah.
I just throwing it out there for.
But over the weekend, Kurt, I went to this awesome restaurant that you and Dana need to try. I would recommend it to anyone if you like Italian food. It's called the Cheese House, and
Cheese House.
it's in downtown Seattle, kind of at the start of Capitol Hill.
Okay.
Um, just up from the Paramount Theater, actually. It would be a great place to go if you're going to a show, go to dinner
Right.
there. It's this small little place though. I don't think they take reservations. I'm pretty sure they don't. It's just first come, first serve. And it was such delicious pasta. It's
Fantastic.
pasta. They had this yummy cheesecake. I mean, everything was so good.
The Cheese House, and it's an Italian place.
Yeah, it was good. I
Well, you
highly
don't have to
recommend.
convince me. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm going to the Cheese House when I
Yeah,
get
do
back.
it. And then we had a little family gathering, Pat's family. I just think it's so cool and special when families have these traditions. They gather every year at someone's house who has big property and they do like all of the things. They do. I went blueberry picking on this property. They did that hay game where they throw money and like coins and dollars and candy into the hay and then the kids go have to go find it. They did an egg toss, they had badminton set up, and it's people that, every the whole family's invited every year, but some years people can't go. So There's,
Right.
people that like Pat hadn't gone the past couple years, so he was seeing people he hadn't seen in years, literally. It was just really special to be a part of that.
I don't
Um,
know the coin game with the hay bales, but
you don't?
it seems pretty self-explanatory. It's find the stuff in the hay, right?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, it was really fun. And then I also saw It Ends With Us, the new movie that's out with Blake Lively
Okay. And you
and
loved it.
Justin, I forget his last name. He's real hot.
Marconi? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Th-
I mean, it was good. They say that be careful of the triggers. And when you watch the trailer, you have no idea that it's about abuse. And
Right.
it is.
Domestic
I
violence.
don't think
Yeah.
that's a spoiler alert. Just know that there's some, ugh, it was,
Be prepared. Yeah, it's hard to see, but
yeah,
ultimately, it was a good movie.
it was a really good movie. And then the last thing I just want to mention, because I'm going to do this more, is we went to a pizza party. Actually, you and Dana were invited to the same pizza party, but you were going to be out of town.
I was
Um,
otherwise detained. Yes.
yeah, so Lori and Glenn invited us over. We did homemade pizzas in their pizza oven that they have in their backyard, which is amazing, and I totally want one.
Hmm.
But we were talking about Lori's really into health. Like she is wicked smart about like just being healthy in all aspects of your life.
She's a
Um,
health coach. That's her job, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I always try to just get information out of her because I love learning so much about that stuff. And they were talking about how they like three to about I don't know, I think they said maybe 3 times a week this is going to come out wrong. They take mushrooms, and that's not like mushrooms like the psychedelic kind. They
Right.
take them as a supplement, like the super
No, their
healthy
mushrooms are good
blends.
for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had no idea that this was a thing. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that do for you? And Glenn and Lori, like Glenn gave me the best compliment ever, I think. And I just don't realize this about myself, but he's like, Jen, what you bring to the world and the energy you bring and the enthusiasm you bring, that's what this does for me. It's like, I want to be like Jen, and this does it for me.
That's awesome. Yeah. You do. I mean, and I don't think that you necessarily recognize not just you, but a lot of people don't recognize their contribution, just their existence and just positive attitude or whatever it is that it can change people's lives, and I think that he's right about that. And so this particular combination of non-magic mushrooms, but they're still magic. Yeah,
He said it
that's
brings a lot of clarity and energy. He's like, you feel like you're ready to take on the day, like Jen would take on the day.
okay.
It,
It hasn't helped
here's
him with
my,
his pickleball playing. I'll just say that. But that's
oh,
that
wow,
was me
Kurt.
just as a little shade, just because it's fun. He's a
All I'm
better pickleball player than me.
my point of bringing that up is not to be like, oh yay, I'm so great. That is not it. It's that
That's
like
not how
what you
people took
said
it.
is like people are just not aware of what they bring to the world. And so it's nice to be reminded. It was just
Mhm.
really nice to hear that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do more of that. I'm gonna try to really do more of that.
More Genergy, is that even possible?
No, not more Genergy, more of doing what Glenn did for me is like
Ah,
making people realize the greatness that they bring into the world. And it's, you can only talk from experience, right? So into my world, like this is what you bring to my world. And I want you to know that you're awesome.
nice.
So,
One of those things is that we did we asked people, we can share the great list of books to read that we found. Uh
yeah,
because that was something that when we mentioned that, I think it was that on Friday, it's the Thursday.
we asked
That
people to say their favorite book
favorite
that
books that you think should be, everybody should read. And that
everybody.
really turned into a thing.
So if you are looking for something to read, like a good book list, go to
Mhm.
Curt&Jen's Facebook page, Curt&Jen in the Morning's Facebook page. There is a list of great books that are there
It's
that,
all submitted by you. They're not you,
yeah,
Jen, everybody. So
yeah. And
good
I
stuff.
learned one more. I was walking with my friend Megan over the weekend, and she's like, everybody should be reading unprompted. We weren't talking about this. She's like, I have a book that you must read. Every
Hmm.
parent, every educator should read this book, and it's called The Anxious Generation, which I've heard of before, but she just got done reading it and she said, mind blowing.
Yes. And congratulations to Megan, a new mom. You just went and hung out with Megan so you could
Oh
hold a
no,
baby,
not that
right?
Megan, different Megan, but yes, I did talk to Megan Phillips, Kent's daughter,
Okay.
and
I thought you just wanted to hold
they
a
just
baby
have a
because I didn't know
baby.
that was until Dana was like, I want to go next door and say hi to our neighbors. Like, okay, well, that's fine. What's the rush? Well, they had a baby. I want to hold the baby. It's like, all
Yeah.
right. All
They
right.
had Casper, so
Oh,
cute,
that's right, Casper.
and they have
All right. So,
two-year-old Kate.
you want to jump into this thing you found about self-driving cars?
Yes. Okay. So this also Megan, my friend Megan, that I went walking with this weekend,
Hmm.
Megan Moyer, um, who happens to be both girls' first grade teacher. We've become close friends, and I just adore
Oh,
her. She was just in San Francisco over the weekend visiting her daughter last weekend. And she said that they would see these cars drive by and they're like, what the what? There's no
no driver.
driver. There's zero driver. Like no one's in the driver's seat.
Hmm.
And so she's like, we're doing this. We are going to experience it. It's called Waymo. So basically it's like Uber, only they're self-driving cars. The company's called Waymo.
Hmm.
And she said it was amazing. It was crazy amazing.
How much do you know about it? Does Waymo make these cars or do they use? Okay.
Yes. So if you
So
go
they
to
make these
Waymo, like if I
self-driving
think it's
cars.
waymo.com, I don't know. I Googled Waymo self-driving cars and
Well, hopefully they've at least coming closer to perfecting it because we do have the self-driving cars. It's supposed to be like driver assist, but they do occasionally have accidents, and there's problems with that. So hopefully Waymo, is
well, on the car, if you go to the website, you could see as a sample of the car, but it has like a bunch of hardware on it or like hardware that like is technologically helping them drive the car. It's
got
cool.
it.
She said, "Do you get in the car and they do a whole spiel? The voice comes on and gives the whole spiel about safety first and wear your seatbelt. Just because there's no driver doesn't mean you
There,
don't wear your
yeah,
seatbelt." And
there are 8 emergency exits too. Yeah, no, not that
anyway,
part.
I would totally do it. Would you do it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So they have
As
them
long
in
as we didn't exceed
San
if we didn't
Francisco, and
exceed 25 miles an hour, I think I'd be okay with it. But beyond that, I make it a little nervous.
I mean, I'm okay with it. San Francisco and Phoenix, that's where they are right now, and they're coming soon to LA and Austin. So if you find yourself in any of those cities,
Right.
you can experience it yourself. Tell me about
Waymo.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, it's still turns out it's very popular. Actually, my sister and brother-in-law have seen it twice at the theater so far because they loved it so much. Deadpool and Wolverine, and they contributed, Mike and Terry, to the $1.029 billion that it's made globally so far, on its way to surpassing the world record, which I guess is Joker. Joker's record was 1.079 billion
For
to
rated
become the
R movies.
highest grossing, yeah, the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time worldwide.
So they're gonna surpass that for
Oh,
sure.
it
I
seems like
haven't
it's
seen it
passed in
yet,
no
and
time.
you haven't
Yeah,
seen it, and we're gonna go
no, but
see
I
it.
will.
So
That's not what I'm just saying. Oh, I'll see it when I get a chance. That is,
and you have birthdays to announce because you like to talk about music artists' birthdays.
well, and yeah, this is well, one's local and one's just in my opinion, a very underrated guitar player, which is Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits. And people are like, oh, I like Dire Straits. They had that Money for Nothing song. Well, they have a lot more songs than that, obviously, and he is a phenomenal guitar player. So Mark Knopfler turned 75 today, and local boy Sir Mix-a-Lot is 61.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
surprising, or does that seem young or old to you? We always ask that
No, I
question.
feel like that's right on par. I feel
Hmm.
like that's right where yeah.
I wonder if when he was young, he's like, well, one day I'm going to be best known for a song that starts with "I like big butts and I cannot lie."
Well, I don't know.
That's my, that's what he's going to go down in history as.
I like to save things when I'm scrolling, especially if they make me laugh. And this one made me laugh, Kurt, and it
What's
has to
that?
do with AI.
Okay.
It was this thing, like one person said, how would you, or this is what they asked AI, how would you write, I changed a light bulb on your resume? And the
So this is just a
response,
simple question. This person is like,
yes. And the
all right,
response is,
from AI, the response to, and what was it?
go ahead,
how would you write? I changed a light bulb on my resume. Okay.
go ahead.
I don't know. What is it?
Oh, I thought you were looking at it.
No, sorry.
Single-handedly managed the successful upgrade and deployment of environmental illumination system with zero cost overruns and zero safety incidents. That's brilliant.
Safely change a light bulb. That's true. It could be there was a minor accident. AI
Okay,
is pretty brilliant, but that would be a fun one to put on there.
give us
It
the
certainly
give us the
sounds.
Olympics update, Kurt.
Oh, the Olympics. Okay. Well, this is the final Olympics update, and I got to say I'm getting a little bit. I'm glad it's done. It's been a lot, but The closing ceremony, everybody was looking forward to that. Of course, we heard about some of these things were going to happen, and they did. So basically, the Olympic flag was handed off to L.A. Mayor Karen Bass. Okay, she was accompanied by Simone Biles, and this is in Paris. Simone Biles was there, and the Olympic flag was handed to LA Mayor, because the next Olympics is going to be in LA. So this is like the official, we're handing it over to you type of thing. Then her sang the national anthem. It was phenomenal. She crushed it. Then it was time, we've been talking about this, the Tom Cruise stunt, because we had heard he was going to parasail into the Olympic Stadium, but it turns out he was lowered from the roof by a cable, and he took the flag. So I mean, they had a camera. I guess it was a drone camera, and he's up literally. I mean, he is way up there, at the very tippy top of the thing, and he just looks at the camera and sort of steps off the edge and starts falling, attached to this cable. And so he landed. He then took the Olympic flag, mounted on the back of a motorcycle, and rode out of the stadium.
Okay.
You're like, is that it?
And then what?
That's when it picked up with the outside. And I imagine this is the stuff that was pre-recorded. He rode it out of the stadium, through the streets of France, and then right onto a cargo plane. So now you're just following this little short film along with Tom Cruise. He's in a cargo plane with a motorcycle. Then came the this is the pre-recorded part of the stunt. He parachuted out of the plane to the Hollywood sign in well, Hollywood. And that was modified to display the Olympic ring. So it was all lots of pomp and circumstance and Tom Cruise stunts. And then once they got to now they're back in America, in California. Some past Olympians then did a relay with the flag by bicycle, on foot, on a skateboard, and then it ended up beachside at a stage where the Red Hot Chili Peppers played "Can't Stop."
That's
You
an
might think it's
interesting
done now.
choice.
Yeah, no, not done yet. They cut then to Billie Eilish, performed "Birds of a Feather." She was followed by Snoop Dogg, who did "Drop It Like It's Hot."
Drop it like a tot. Drop it like
That's
a
the one.
tot.
Then he finished with the next episode, accompanied by Dr. Dre, pretty big. The broadcast then transferred back to France, where a French singer sang "My Way."
Like, as in,
I
I'll have it my way.
My Way. Yeah, Frank Sinatra, "My
Okay.
Way."
Okay.
And then there's fireworks, and then it's done. So that's a pretty big, pretty
Wow.
huge endeavor.
That's a
And that,
lot.
that was the end of it. And if you wanted to know, we've been keeping you up to date on the medals. The U.S. and China both ended up tied with 40 gold medals each. So as far as gold medals, we were tied with China, but overall, the medal count was 126. We had more medals overall than anybody else.
Nice. And I read that Simone Biles is officially retiring because she's having a baby.
Oh, great.
Is
I
that
did not read
right?
that.
I don't
I
know
did
if
not
that
read
was,
that. So,
I guess, how do you really, I don't know how to tell if that's like real or not, but there was some post with her and her husband.
okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's fake news or not. I'm just saying that's what I read, that she did say that this is going to be the end for her. Who knows? She could come back after she has her baby.
Well, she also said at one point during the Olympics, because I saw it, they said, "Are you retiring after this?" And she's like, "Yeah, but you never know." So
Never know.
you never know,
Um,
Simone.
Kurt, we are both mega Disney fans. My two
True.
daughters, Macy and Riley, are bigger Disney fans than we are. And Macy
Hmm.
came over last night because we're getting ready for that road trip, and she was at her dad's house this weekend, came over and said, "Mom, did you hear?" And then she just starts like, she's on her phone. She's like, "You got to watch this. You got to see this. And did you
What
hear
was
this?"
it?
It was Disney's D23 Expo. So D23 is the official Disney fan club, and every year they do an expo. And it was this past weekend. For this year's expo was this past weekend. 3 full days of like inside magic experiences you won't find anywhere else, like exclusive sneak peeks, like celebrity appearances,
Hmm.
presentations given by Imagineers, and all the things, right?
Right.
So they made these huge announcements that include expansions of Disney World's Magic Kingdom. So they're going to make a Villains Land.
Villains Land.
Yeah. They're
Okay.
expanding Cars Land to Frontierland. This is all in Florida. This is where you are right now, Kurt.
Yeah. Well, Orlando is a little north from here, but yeah.
They're having a Pirates Tavern. Billy Crystal came on stage and made a big announcement that Monsters Inc. is going to become a land in Hollywood Studios in Orlando.
A
And it
whole
will,
land, not just a ride. I mean, there's going to be rides in it, but Monsters Inc. is going to become a land.
but this is the part that I love the most because I love roller coasters so much. Disney will have its first suspended roller coaster. And I don't know if you know Monsters Inc. that well. I happen to love Monsters Inc. It's one of my
Mhm.
favorite Pixar movies. It's going to be a suspended coaster where you're going through that whole doors scene in the movie. Like all the doors
Okay,
that are like, right?
nice, right? Okay,
And then they teased a bunch of movies that are coming up, like the live action Lilo and Stitch. And Macy's obsessed with Lilo and Stitch, so she was all about that.
okay,
Moana 2, Frozen 3. They're going to do a Lion King movie all about Mustafa. And then you had
awesome.
some news. I didn't hear the Miley Cyrus stuff though.
Yeah, they had a part of the D23 celebration was they hand out some awards, I guess, for lack of better terms. And Miley Cyrus, of course, she started as Hannah Montana for Disney. She made history as the youngest person ever to be named a Disney legend. And the Disney legend is an honor bestowed upon individuals who have significantly influenced the company. So this is Miley Cyrus. I guess she was getting kind of teary. This was in Anaheim. This part was. She teared up as the audience roared with applause that she was the youngest ever Disney legend, and then she actually had some words to say, of course. She was basically like saying a little bit of everything has changed over the years, but at the same time, nothing has changed at all. Way back when she was originally cast to be Hannah Montana, and she even detailed how she wasn't the original idea. She wasn't originally cast for the role. I don't know the deal with that and who was, but she was initially not Hannah
Huh.
Montana. She said, I'd gotten a taste of what my life could be, and from that moment on, I did not want anything else. So,
That's awesome.
Disney legend, Miley Cyrus,
Youngest ever.
congratulations. There were a lot of people there, like you said, Angela Bassett was there, James Cameron, Jamie Lee Curtis, Harrison Ford was there, Frank Oz, Kelly Ripa, among others, John Williams, the composer. So, a bunch of
Yeah.
people came out for this.
It's
The
a big
ultimate
darn
Disney
deal if
fan
you're a
event.
Disney
Yeah,
fan. That's all I'm
there you
saying.
go.
Washington made yet another list. The here's
Wait
the
a minute, I
list.
don't know if I should be
Here's
applauding
how
or
this
not.
goes down. The average person, this is why my friends can't find any dates. The average person is about 50% honest on dating apps. Like, why are you lying? They're gonna meet you at some point. They're gonna find out the real you. Just
Yeah,
show up who you are for
right.
F's sake.
Well, here's the thing, and let's just to
Ugh.
focus on this for a second. I have friends that are frustrated, and because they're, actually we've been talking about people that are dating in their 20s and 30s. Well, we know people that are still dating in their 50s.
Yes.
They're late 40s or early or mid 50s or whatever. And he's frustrated because he's like, you get ghosted, or everything seems great and you never hear from them again, or you go out on one date and that's it. And so I can see why people might have the idea, I just need to get face to face with this person. So if I say, whatever it takes to get that first date. But then it's that's fantastic. That's not fantastic, but that's okay. But then, like you said, you're starting this potential relationship off with a lie, you know.
Yes.
So, and
Who's your friend? Who's your friend that you know that's saying this?
I'm not going to out anybody here, but
No, we could make a connection, Kurt,
oh,
between your friends and my friends.
no, he lives in Chicago, so that's not going to
Oh,
happen. All
damn it.
right, so.
Okay. Anyway,
But about half the time, it turns out that people are saying, I mean, it depends on how big the fib is, I guess, as well, right?
no, just don't lie about like you're on a dating app to meet someone. Be your true, authentic self.
Right.
Anyway, 50% of the time on a good day, things are true that
Hmm.
people are putting on this. And this is according to the website datingadvice.com. They recently had single Americans rate their online dating experiences on how honest people have been on a
Well, I should I
scale.
should also say I'm a little bit of a backpedal is I don't agree with that. I just see how people can get frustrated and be in that spot, especially if they don't think that their lives are all that interesting, or I mean I don't have a cool job, I don't have a blah blah blah, so I could see how people would embellish it. Again, though, I think you're going to run into a big problem when you have to finally fess up.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
like you said, you're starting your relationship, any potential relationship with a lie. People
Not good.
going into a date to meet you and you've lied about, this is the stuff that people lie about most is basic stuff like age, jobs, hobbies, education, appearances in real life, and even relationship status, which that even blows my mind too. But people, I think that it's people that are married that say they're single and want to meet someone, which is, total bologna slices in my world.
Well, I kind
What
of thought it was people that, and there is a complication when you are in the process of getting divorced. And sometimes divorces, I mean, we've both known people that the divorce is going on for, a year and a half. And in the meantime, they meet somebody, so so what would you put on there if that was a situation? Would you put divorced, but available for date, or not divorced, but
It's
available for dating?
complicated. It's
It's
complicated.
complicated. Okay. All right.
Anyway, so they had people rate on a scale of 1 to 10, one being least honest and 10 being the most honest, how honest people have been on their dates. And so overall, people rated honesty, they've encountered dating profiles as a 5.1 out of 10, which is not great, but that's like, well, anyway, that's the average of all
There's
of
your
it.
50% right there. Yeah.
So
So
South Dakota stood out as the most honest, scoring 7.5 out of 10. Other
as far
honest
as
states, I'm just
online
going to
dating
name them:
goes. Okay. Uh,
Alaska, Delaware, Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont.
these are the
All of
most
those were at
honest.
least a 6.2 and above. The least honest state by
Here we go.
far, 3.4 out of 10. Can you guess?
Well, I see it right here. It's New York.
Yeah, that doesn't really surprise me, I guess, for New York.
It, well, I would have thought it was New Jersey, but they also made the list of dishonest
The
states. And again, this
problem
is being
is
honest on
this.
your dating profile.
The problem is this, having, since we live here and we have friends dating here in Washington, I should say.
Hmm.
Washington was number 3. Actually, it was number 2. It was tied with Pennsylvania for number 2 at 4 out of 10. What
Least
the hell,
honest.
people?
I don't know where it comes from.
Then it's followed by New Jersey, Wisconsin, Iowa, and West Virginia. Just, I don't have anything else to say except for, just for crying out loud, be honest about who you are. Like, you got
Right.
to be proud of who you are. And if you're not, then start doing some work on yourself before you're on the dating app.
And well, they also found the final thing is that a little bit more than half of single people say that they found that city daters from the city, are less honest than smaller town residents.
Okay,
That seems logical, right?
I guess. Yeah.
Big city folks, they're all shifty. You know that.
Here, I said I guess. No, I don't guess. I don't think it, none of that's logical, because I'm really about being your true authentic self. Don't try to be someone you're not. It's going to catch up with you.
And you're not going to like the result.
Ugh. Anyway,
All right.
okay.
You
We got to
found this
hustle
as
along
well.
because we're running out of time, Kurt.
Oh, we are. Well, then let's talk about,
Scientists, well, hold on. Let's go. We have only a couple things left, right? Is that right?
yeah. Real
Okay.
quickly, have you found about the scientists that develop bandages that help heal things 30% faster? They heal wounds faster, these bandages.
I mean, a mom's kiss when you have a boo-boo always works really great.
Is that so?
Well, I mean, you like to think it does. Anyway, this is pretty cool. Researchers have developed this new bandage that can heal wounds, like you said, 30% faster by using this. And I don't understand any of this kind of stuff. Water powered electric field. Like, I don't even know what that is. But listen, if it's going to heal my wound faster,
Hmm.
great. You can't
What's
put it on your
described?
heart, though, if you have a broken heart. That is not going to
Yeah,
work there.
you would have to go there.
That's
They
chocolate and
describe it as
girlfriends.
electrical stimulation, okay, but there aren't any actual electronics. I don't know 100%. I'm not a scientist or an electrician, whatever. They're disposable bandages with electrodes on one side and a small, tiny little biocompatible battery on the other that's activated by water. And so it helps heal faster. And it turns out that they're not terribly expensive either. So that might be the future of bandages.
There's no price
Bandages.
out yet, but the researchers are thinking they could be about a couple bucks each, which I would totally pay for. We don't know
Sure.
when they're going to be in stores yet, but it's coming. It's coming, and I'm excited.
You can talk about this next thing because I've heard about this happening a while ago, and this is happening. I can't believe that this guy would do this after this happened before, and people
It
were
did?
yeah, beyond, yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, so worst proposal ever. A
Okay.
guy pranked his girlfriend with a fake abduction. So they're driving together on this, like, it looked like from the video, because I watched the video of it, on this like pretty secluded road, and this van comes up, like this moving type van, gets in front of them, stops. opens up their car, like gets them over on the side of the road somehow. I don't really even know how.
Well,
Gets
it's like
them
an
out.
abduction. That
Well, no,
that's what it's like.
I don't. What I don't understand is why they're all on the side of the road all of a sudden. Is what I'm saying. But these
Well,
people come out of this moving van, literally smashes their car window. So it's he and his girlfriend sitting in the car, smash the windows, drag the guy out of the car, and put him in the van. Right. Meanwhile, the girl is screaming hysterically. Right. And then he opens the van door back up with a bouquet of flowers and proposes. I mean, she ends up saying yes, but come on, are you actually real?
well, this actually happened in Russia, so I don't know if that makes a difference, but or they have a different way of proposing over there. But it seems to me, particularly in Russia, it's like don't fake an abduction, you idiot. How traumatic is that? And
It
that's
doesn't
going back
matter
to
what
the
country you're in. Don't do
yeah,
this.
going back to the dating app and that with this is no, this is the trauma that's going to be from starting this way with your relationship and your marriage. I think is awful. Like, oh yeah, remember that time I thought made you think that I was going to die.
I just
No good.
cannot.
So
If you
that goes into
have
the
a
ideas of how not to propose.
yeah, if you have if you have a proposal horror story, I kind of want to hear about it. I
All
was
right.
Kurt and I were talking before we started recording, and I'm like, I like good news things, but kind of want to hear these stories. If you have a bad proposal story, I want to
That could
hear
be.
about it.
Or yeah, proposal fails. There's got to be a lot of proposal fails that didn't quite go right, even if they were. Yeah, so we're happy to hear those on any of these platforms. Just comment your stories of failed proposals, bad proposals. That'd
I'll
be
try to
awesome.
put it on Facebook too. So that's the thing. If you're not already friends with Kurt and Jen on Facebook and on Instagram, please take time to do that because we'll oftentimes put a little question up that we're going to discuss the next day. So
Right.
please do that if you haven't already. And we appreciate you listening. Tomorrow, Kurt is taking the rest of the week off. He's like, Jen, I'll do Monday with you, but I'm not doing the rest of the time. I want to spend time with my family. And I get and
That's it.
respect
Yeah.
that, Kurt.
And
Have a
the time
great
difference throws
time.
things off. The time
What?
difference throws things off a lot, when we record these in the morning, and then yeah, it doesn't matter. But I'm looking forward to you have a great fill-in host coming up for the rest of the week.
Gonna be hot firefighter boyfriend Pat.
Yes, it is.
He said, here's the deal. He said that he's like, I'm not gonna be very good at this. This like just isn't my jam. And I'm like, okay, I'll find someone else. That's fine. And not in a shitty way. Or oh, I'm sorry. Not in a crappy way. I just kind of just said, that's fine. I get that. Whatever. And he's like, no, I'll try it. And then if it doesn't work out, you can redo it. I'm like, listen, we're not redoing a show.
Yeah.
So if it's crappy, it's crappy. You
It's
get
going
what
to
you
work out.
get. And
We
then
and
I'll
we
find another fill-in host if I need
we
to.
we all know from doing radio forever that it's people say, well, just be yourself, and that's easier said than done because you think I am being. How do I be myself better? But he's going to do fine just by being Pat. He's a good dude, and I think it'll be a fun show. So everybody watch and listen for the rest of the week with guest host Pat.
That's right. It'll be good. It'll be good.
I
We're
think
going to
so.
be on the road ourselves. So we're going to be in the motorhome broadcasting live.
Right from Silverwood. That's right. That's where you're headed.
Well, we're gonna make some stops along the way. We'll see. Well, we'll clue you in on our adventures as we go along. It'll be a fun one.
Thank you.
Really, truly have a great time making some good memories with your family and especially your dad because that's
Thank
treasured
you. Thank you.
time.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate it.
record him. Make sure you record him or talk to Tara, our friend who does docu-memoirs while you're
Hmm.
there. Seriously, don't regret
That's
that. Don't
yeah.
let that be a regret you didn't do.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Have a great time. You guys all have a great day. Make good choices, find joy, and spread that kindness all around. Thanks for listening.